anywhere. I just want you to focus up here for me because this leads into what I'm about to show you. All right, I got three angles up on the board, A, B, and C. All right, three angles up on the board, A, B, and C. I'm going to tell you A is supplementary to B. Stop right there. I want to know, what does that word mean? Okay, if A is supplementary to B, what do we know about the two angles? Because that's what our facts are about today, supplementary angles. So A supplementary to B, what do you know about angles A and B for me? So we could start there. All right, A and B. Madison, what do we know? Supplementary? Anything or no? What's that? I can't hear you. What equals 180? I'm just trying to get it out of you, Madison. I hear 180, but I need a little bit more. What about them? A plus B equals 180. That's all I needed to hear. Everybody good? A plus B equals 180. So here's what I'm going to do with you. Your choice. Something nice and easy for us, please. Alex, give me an angle measure for A. Something nice and easy for us. That's not 90.
Just like anything?
Well, it's got to be less than 180, but yeah.
Like 40?
40. Fine. Perfect. So if that's 40, somebody let me know what angle B is going to be. What's angle B going to be there? Let's go up. T.
140.
140. Good. Is your brain on fire there? All right. Good job. 140. Okay. Now I'm telling. There we go. Angle C is supplementary to angle B. Angle C is supplementary to angle B. Give me a measure for C now. Angle C is supplementary to B. Give me an angle measurement for C now. Where are we going with that one? Halo? 40 degrees. Oh, okay. Notice anything about any of those angles now? A and? Oh, all right. And now you guys have just led me to my first fact of today, which is, what did I give you? Both A and C, tell me something about them. Angle A and C were both what? Supplementary to the same angle. Everyone agrees? All right, does everybody see that? A and C were both supplementary to the same exact angle B, and what did we end up finding about them? They are congruent to each. They're not supplementary to each other. They're congruent to each other. All right, so go now to our notes here, and that's the first theorem or fact for today. Supplements of the same angle are congruent to each other. That's what that means. Two angles supplementary to the same angle are always congruent. Does everyone see that with my 140 and 40 example up here? All good? Okay. Two angles supplementary to the same angle are congruent to each other. So let's try this proof out. Go ahead, get your statements, reasons. There's no markings you can put on your diagram for supplementary. Okay, so again, no markings to show that they're supplementary. Before I move on, I turn this over to you. Did I need to give you that 2 and 3 were supplementary? How could you have told me that on your own? Just by looking at the diagram. Come on here. This is where I'm trying to have you go to. I didn't need to tell you 2 and 3 are supplementary. Look at the diagram. In your own words, how would I have already known that 2 and 3 were already going to be supplementary? I did not need to tell you. I did not need to tell you. We're looking for some vocab, which is fine. Not here. Let's keep moving on. Let's see. Jackson, in your own words, how would you have known, looking at the diagram only, 2 and 3 are supplementary?
It's a straight line.
Just forms a straight line, right? Anybody remember the vocabulary term I had for those two? It's a straight angle, but I'm talking angles 2 and 3. Two angles adjacent to each other that add to 180. Linear pairs. Okay, yep. So I could have told you that already. You could have found that out on your own. All right. Let's read the givens. 1 supplementary to 3, and so is 2. So I have 2 angles that are supplementary to which one? 3. What did we just show with my example with 140 degrees and 40? If you have 2 angles that are supplementary to the same angle, what do I know about those 2? They are congruent, not supplementary to each other. That 2 angles supplementary to the same angle are congruent to each other. Not supplementary, they're congruent to each other. And yes, this is just a 2-step proof because I just wanted to use our fact. Supplements of the same angle are congruent. We okay with that one? Both of those angles, 1 and 2, are supplementary to 3. So be careful there. A lot of kids want to say 1 and 2 are supplementary. All right, that's a common mistake, but if they're supplementary to the same angle, congruent. Congruent. All right, another one down, huh? Another one down. Perfect. Questions on that one? All right, before I show you the last one here today, let me show you a diagram that leads into it. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Take a look up here first. Take a look up here before we get to that fact. What do you know about 1 and 2? Angles 1 and 2 up here. Tell me something about them. I didn't put any markings on them, just based on the diagram. What do we know about angles 1 and 2? Where are we going, Jesse?
They're linear pairs.
So that keep going. You're right. So it makes them
Supplementary.
okay. They're supplementary because they're a linear pair. Perfect. Somebody tell me something about 3 and 4 now. 3 and 4. Where are we going, Madeline? What do you know about 3 and 4? Also supplementary. So we're all on the same page. 1 and 2 supplementary. 3 and 4. What did I just tell you about angles 1 and 3? What did I just tell you up there about 1 and 3? Hayden, what do you know about 1 and 3?
Supplements.
No, don't. I just marked it.
Oh,
They're congruent. That's all I wanted. Okay, so let's go over. You know they're supplementary. And I know 1 and 3 are congruent. What do you think you know about 2 and 4? What do you think you know about 2 and 4? 1 and 2 add to 180. 3 and 4 add to 180. All right, now I told you 1 and 3 are equal. Thoughts on what you think about angles 2 and 4 now? Taylor?
They're also equal.
They better be, right? Because remember, hey, if that's 140, that's going to be 40. If that's 140 because they're congruent, that's got to be 40. So yes, angles 2 and 4 are congruent. Why? And here's our last one. And I got to stress the difference between this one and the one we just did. Kids, 2 and 4, the angles I was asking about, are they supplementary to the same exact angle? Or are they supplementary to different angles? Different, aren't they? So does everyone see why I'm not using the theorem or the fact I just put up there? 2 and 4 are not supplementary to the same angle. They are supplementary to the different angles, aren't they? Okay, so that's why I'm going to use this one, which is now on your paper on the next page. Supplements of congruent angles are congruent. All right? I got to put it back up. And it just died on me. Just when you're on fire, everything goes down. Oh, there it is. Are we all good? 2 and 4 are supplementary to congruent angles, not the same angle. See the difference? All right, let's hop into this proof so you guys can work on everything else. Boom. Okay, we're given those are straight lines. Perfect. A and B. So everyone mark. Hey, be careful here. Common mistake. That's lowercase angle A congruent to lowercase angle B. Hey, don't be putting marks up here on me. That's capital A. All right, it's on lowercase a. Let's mark the correct angles congruent. Here and here. Look at the proof statement. Everyone look at where angle ADC is for me. Can you find that angle at this point in the year now? Angle ADC. ADC. D is the vertex. It's in the middle. Everyone see where that angle is. Please don't mark it though. I'll just put a dot where that is, right? Everyone see that angle there? Good. What do you know about that angle and angle A? Nobody yell anything out? What do you know about angle ADC right here and angle A? What do you know about those two angles? What's that show on the diagram? What do we know about those two, Juliana? Supplementary, perfect. I need to show that angle's congruent to BFC. Look on the other side of the diagram. Can everyone see where BFC is? BFC? Right there? Tell me something about angle BFC and angle B right next to it. What do we know about those two? Madeline, on fire today. They're also supplementary. Oh, okay. So you just told me those two angles we're trying to prove are supplementary. Hey, over here, over here. Are they supplementary to the same angle? Yes, sir. Look at your diagram. Those two angles I just marked with blue dots that we're trying to prove congruent. Are they supplementary to the same exact angle, yes or no? No, good. But are they supplementary to two angles that are congruent? Yes. See the difference. Why I'm going to choose using this one right now in the proof. All good? Okay, unfortunately, though, it's not a two-step proof. Darn it. Did it to me again. Right underneath this, I need you to put a note. And this note is very similar to what I had you do Friday. So after you write the word note, can you go back to your notes from Friday, from when I told you where all right angles are congruent? Everybody go back to where we said all right angles are congruent. And I need somebody now to read that note that I had you put under that fact. All right, so we had all right angles are congruent, but we wrote a note that says, no, 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 you cannot use this until... What did we... Oh, Malin, come on now, on fire. What did we write there?
You must say you have right angles first before putting this in a group.
Correct. So you needed to tell me where the right angles were on Friday. Well, guess what? You need to tell me where the supplementary angles are first, all right? Must state where the supplementary angles are first. Okay? Don't write this fact down until you tell me where the supplementary angles are. Mr. Carling, you didn't do that for the last proof. Why do we have to do it for this one when you didn't have to do that for the last one? Anybody know why I didn't bring it up? It was already given to you. We didn't need to state where they are. It was given to us already. Are they given to you here where the supplementary angles are? No. So we need to write it in step 2. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and get your statements and reasons set up. Oh, shoot. So we know how this one's going to end, right? We already talked. Those angles in blue are supplementary to congruent angles, not the same one. So this is how it's going to end, but you just made a note. I need to know where those supplementary angles are first. Name them. There's 2 pair up there. Somebody first name me 1 pair of supplementary angles so I can write it down. 1 pair of supplementary angles. You guys are going back and forth here, these groups. Juliana, go ahead. Name 1 pair of supplementary angles for me.
Angle A is supplementary to angle ADC.
Okay, angle A, perfect, is supplementary to angle ADC. Yep, good. And there's another pair on the other side. What's the other pair of supplementary angles? Whew, going deep for this one. Rand, what's the other pair on the other side? Name those.
BMCFB.
Perfect. Angle B is supplementary to angle BFC. And the reason, again, 99% of the time, this will be your reason if it's not given already. And that is, I'll put it up here in a second. That's the other fact that's on here, which we've already talked about, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. Linear pairs are supplementary. So anytime you're telling me two angles are supplementary, it's probably the reason why, because they're right next to each other. They form a straight line. Linear pairs are supplementary. And one last time so we can finish this proof. ADC and BFC, the two angles we're trying to prove congruent, supplementary to the same angle or supplementary to congruent angle, so I can finish this proof. Are those two supplementary to the same exact angle or congruent angles in this one? Which one did we decide on? T, again, different but congruent, right? So there we go. Angle, let's finish this now. Step 3, angle ADC congruent to BFC. Now just watch your mouth, and this is why I'm going to give you a sheet of paper next Monday with all these on here so you can write it correctly. Supplements, what do we write? Of congruent angles are congruent. Okay, not the same angle. They're supplementary to congruent angles.